Borderlands 4 added flight. This, naturally, interests me greatly. Even after getting all the upgrades you can by killing seemingly unrelated monsters, the glider is still kind of shit. We want to go as far in a straight line as we can without touching the ground, and 1/3 of the map has a lot of mountains, so let's go there. This Augur Shrine near Deathrite has a big slope in front of it, so it'll give us a nice long drop. 339 meters, but we did run into a snowbank near the end. How about somewhere higher up, like Cloudbank? 346 meters. We're running into two problems here. Firstly, our glider needs time to recharge, which means that we lose a lot of height. Secondly, all of the high points of the map are right next to the lowest local relief. Ideally, we need to create this shape, where the terrain keeps going down as we get lower, giving us more time to recharge our glider and go again. There is a way to force that first part of this shape though, which is the silos. Hooking yourself onto these launches you high in the air and orients you in some direction with a ton of airspeed. The thing about this airspeed is that it isn't gliding, and activating your glider while soaring like this actually kills all of your speed and leaves you dangling in the air like a guy in a lawn chair. So this gives us a new shape. We grab hold of a silo, carry the airspeed as far as we can, then enter our glider and go until we hit the ground. There are only 9 silos on the map, so we can quickly go through all of them. We'll start with the first silo and travel counterclockwise around the map. The stockroom sits in the middle of a long valley that gently slopes downward to the east, so we'll go that way. 677 meters, double what we were getting without it. That dash at the end did kill our momentum a bit, but we weren't going to get more than another couple meters before we ran into something. The kit hole silo looks worse, since there's this constricted valley to the south and trees to the northeast, but the terrain and trees can be dodged in just the right way to give us just about 670 meters. Rustical Hurl seems to be positioned the worst of all the silos, blocked in on 3 sides by cliffs. The game also turns you towards the cliff, giving only 389 meters of flight. Forcing yourself to move the other way gives you 450 meters, but we can safely throw this silo out already. Sight Unseen almost seems like it would give you a lot of flight space, but since most of it is Death Pit, you're stuck with either 363 or 589 meters depending on which river birthday party you want to interrupt. Judgment's Lapse is actually the best one in this entire area, despite looking very similar to Hurl. With enough dodging and weaving, you can consistently get more than 500 meters, and you usually end up somewhere vaguely peaceful. Deathrite seems promising since it sits inside a massive valley, but the valley curves around in weird ways. That means you lose more height, but since the hills start rising just ahead of this, I doubt that demolishing an entire cliffside would give you much more distance. Still, we've made nearly a kilometer. Covered Charge is similar, but the massive pipelines roaming around cut out a lot of possible routes and forces you to land near a cliff like Wile E. Coyote. Were you only given a couple more meters of vertical height, you could use this silo to get the hell out of this area entirely. Once again, we're given nearly an entire kilometer of Ang cosplay. Reliquary's ideal route once again puts you in mortal danger, this time from drowning. This is the only silo where I had to return to my landing spot because for some reason you're not allowed to open your map while swimming in a silty pond no deeper than an annoying 4-year-old who you just wish would be held down under it. Deep 7 is easily the best silo in the game for this. This forested valley ahead of us goes right past Wyclef's safe house and keeps sloping downward into the ocean. At 1,347 meters, this seems to be our answer. But here, watch this. If we pick the right grapple point, we can reset our glider's duration and get a sizable boost in airspeed. The problem is where to use it. Let's look at our 3 longest routes. Since we hit the water from Deep 7, even if we had grapple points, we wouldn't be able to improve our distance much without dying. Covered Charge could be something, but the cliff is so small that they felt no need to add any grapple points. The most devastating one is Deathrite. If we had made it 20 more meters, we would be in range of this grapple point on the back of an order building. With enough airspeed, a flight from that gets us to this grapple point across a ravine. And if we turn and fly down the ravine? Claptrap Aeronautics Academy. If we're able to use the grapple points in this area to get to the furthest point of the academy, we would reach 1,379 meters. With a single extra grapple point, anywhere along here, we could have a new and far more interesting air distance record. But it's not meant to be. Fly high, everyone.